Bryan Beleafs. And Brian, I can just imagine that there was no joy in Bryantown last night.
It was really tough last night. The Leafs actually had an awesome game. They played a full 57 minutes. And then in the last few minutes there, Eric Kallgren had a giant brain cramp and played the puck right to a New York Islander. It's one of those things, goalies playing the puck, it's always an adventure, and the Leafs got burned last night.
It's sort of like that analogy in football, like if you're passing the ball, there's only 3 things that can happen and 2 of them are bad. When the goalie's passing the puck around, it's a very similar situation.
Yeah, and we definitely in Toronto have been burned by it many times. Freddie Anderson was very famous for some massive missed plays in some key situations. Jack Campbell had some bad ones too. And now Eric Kallgren has one to remember as well.
So, Morgan Rielly, long-term injury reserve, not happy, Brian.
Now, the Leafs defense has been really hit hard. TJ Brody, we got an update on him yesterday. He's going to be out at least another week and probably a little bit longer. Jake Muzzin is very likely done for the season. And then Morgan Rielly takes the knee on knee yesterday. And it looks like LTIR. Sheldon Keefe was unwilling to say if it was going to be anything beyond that. Darren Dreger was reporting that it's looking like a 5 to 6 week healing time, which will take it to late December or early January. The Leafs defense is going to be tested. Matt Holloway's coming up for the game against Jersey. Victor Mete is probably going to get some starts, but the Leafs are going to have to come from out front and score some goals. The 5-on-5 scoring is going to have to come through if the Leafs are going to run through this patch and get some wins.
Now, Morgan Rielly is a guy that has just been synonymous with any success the Leafs have had over the last few years. How much of an impact do you think his loss specifically is going to be affecting the team, not just on the ice, but in the locker room?
This guy's a minute muncher. He plays up to 23, 24 minutes a night pretty consistently. A lot of people thought when they were deciding who the captain was that he was the guy who was the true captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I was personally amongst that group as well. This guy leads on and off the ice. He's puts in huge amounts of numbers for minutes, and then also the points can't be discounted. This guy knows how to carry the puck out of the zone and gain the blue line, which is a very underappreciated skill and something William Nylander does very well as well. But not having him on the back end, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the other puck movers like Timothy Liljegren and Rasmus Sandin. They're going to have to fill that void.
So what do you see happening getting ready for tomorrow's game against the Devils?
Well, the Devils are chasing a franchise record for most wins of all time in their franchise for 14. So the Leafs are going to either be the Goat Horns, they're going to be the team that got beat to give them that record, or they're going to be the team that shuts them down. I do think Jersey's playing a bit bigger than their boot size should be right now, and I do think they're going to regress at some point. Oftentimes you see teams fall under the pressure of these big kind of momentous games. I'm seeing the Leafs picking it back up. Big game tomorrow night.
I love your optimism. You are the definition of optimism, Brian.
I got you, man. Oh my God. You know how hard it is drawing these comics after a loss? It's tough.